Hello, I'm Jantien. This is Chapel Cottage Studio. We're going to be doing a bit of preparatory drawing in this video. In a previous video, I showed you how to make the light on the sea, how to make the sea look like the light was glinting on all the ripples. And you'll find a link to that in the description at the bottom of the screen. But today we're going to do a bit of preparatory drawing to put some boats on top of that picture. I never draw straight onto my background paintings because if you go wrong, you're going to make lots of mess rubbing out on it. So if I want a clean picture to go on top of a nice background, I'm going to first of all work out my picture on something else. So this is a bit of sketchbook paper and I'm going to be drawing these three little boats. And I took the photograph whilst I was in Tenby one summer. And it's been sitting in my photograph file waiting to be used. So today's the day to use it. And when people draw boats, they find an awful lot of difficulty in getting the boats to sit down flat on the water and getting them to look real. So I'm going to give you some pointers. First of all, if we can go in and look at one of these boats, I would draw a little box around the boat. This is going to help hugely because a lot of this boat is foreshortened. That means it's coming towards you so it looks shorter than it is. And we have to work out those proportions and get them right. So I've drawn my little box around the boat. There we are. Halfway up that little box, I'm going to put a line so you can see on the outside of the box, there's halfway. And look, the front of the boat comes halfway up the little box. What we tend to do is make this bit far too long. And it's because that we know it's long. So we tend to see it as long and we draw it as long. But in actual fact, when it's foreshortened, they're both the same length. So what I'm going to do is give myself a corresponding little box down here. And I think that's about the right size that I want. It's a little bit wider than it is high, my box. So I'm going to make my little box by there and I'm going to give myself a halfway line. And now I know where the front of the boat is coming. The point at the front of the boat is less than halfway across. So I'm going to plot a point. There's the front of the boat. And now within this shape, I have to get the curve that's going around the back of the boat. And it's very flat. The boat is slightly tilted. So having got that curve there, I'm also going to give myself a line that's at 90 degrees to this line. Let me just check. A little bit off, I think. There we are. And then I'm going to make my boat nice and straight. So there's the curve of the front of the boat. The bottom of the boat follows that line. And there's the base. And I'm going to look at the shape that comes up the side. And similarly on this side. Look at the shape that comes up the side of the boat. There we are. Whoops. And now I'm going to work out the top. And if I take a line down, the back of the boat is halfway across my little square. So and it's just below the top. And that's the point of the back of the boat. The boat isn't straight on in the water, so we've got lots of things to think about. There we are, there's the other side, and that finishes earlier. There we are, and we've got the boat sitting flat in the water. Once it's sitting there right, we can put in the details, but always put in the whole structure when you're drawing something like a boat or a house or anything like that. Fit the details in after. So I'm going to come down the back of the boat, draw the little inny bit. I'm not a mariner, I don't know the terms. Little inny bit at the back. I like that term. And then there's a line coming around there, line coming around there, but I can see, there we are, a line across there that goes right to that end and comes around the front. One here that comes down there, then a line across and another line by there. And all the other details I'm not worried about. We can paint them on later on. That's enough for my preparatory drawing. Now I move into the next boat. Let's have a look. It's above this one. So let's put my top line above this one. The base of this boat is just above the base of this boat. So let's put my bottom line in. It's touching the side, higher up than halfway. So here we are, it's touching the widest point. And I'm going to look at this V in between the boats, this negative shape. And that will give me the back of that boat. Now the front of this boat, let's have a look. Oh, it's just about by there. Let me check my bottom to top, front of the boat. Oh, just below halfway. It's about so high. There we are. And the middle of the back and the middle of the front are in line with each other. So let's find the middle of the back, take a line down. There's the middle of the front, and then we have to build the curve again. There we are, that looks nice. And make sure the other side is the same size and build the curve. The symmetry is one of the hardest things I find. There we are. There's the curve of the boat, bottom of the boat down here. And again, we're going to follow the shape, create the bottom of the boat. And here the same thing. That goes in a little bit more. I'll just step in front to check that it's right. That's fine. And then we're going to go inside here. See what happens when you measure it carefully and you make the bottom half the same as the top half. You see a big long boat here because your brain will reverse that foreshortening and make it make sense. But you must measure because otherwise you will want to draw it too long. Right, let's go into the back and create the shapes inside it. Remembering again that they're foreshortened and they're a little bit shorter than you think. So I can see a shape at the front here, like so. And this goes round to it, and it goes round to it on this side. And there's a plank across here. I'm sure it has a different name, but for me it's a plank. There we are, so there's that boat drawn, and I'm going to put in a bit of the third one. It's going to bulge out of the picture at the side, but I rather like that. And again, if I go across the top of this boat, it's just about level with the top of the next boat, and I can see a little triangle there that I'm going to copy. And the next boat actually goes vertically by there and slightly up at the back. There's another triangle down here that I can look for, which goes from right up here and quite straight down towards this line. And then it's going to finish down here somewhere, but that's going to come off the page, I think. Now I'm not certain about this curve, so I'm going to go up here and work up here. Going to get that downy bit at the back. Again, no mariner's terms for me. A downy bit is fine, and an uppy bit on that side. I have lots of these wonderful technical terms. And when I come in over here, it's going to come inside the edge. And it's going to create a shape by there. And then it's coming down and down. This plank is just by there, that's it. And then it's going across. And once I've got that, I can fill in the rest of the outline here, which carries on down here and starts to curve around. So it's filling it up piece by piece by piece. That's going to start to go longer down there. Okay, we got a bit at the back here. Let's take another plank across. Finishes over here. I think by then I've probably come to the end of the paper that I'll be using, so I'm not going to worry about it. And a piece over there, which is going that way. Have I got that boat? Yeah, I have, that's fine. I think I may not be straight enough there. I'm going to come down here just a little bit more. Always room to get it right. If you think it's wrong, and don't listen to any of those people that ever said to you rubbers are bad. Rubbers are wonderful things. If you've gone wrong, put it right. I'm going around the front there, and that's better. Coming back around here, let's make this a little wider, and going across here, turning the corner, and going across the front, and then this carrying on down there. That's a better angle, I think. There we are. There's my preparatory drawing. So anytime you want to draw anything, you don't need, if it's a preparatory drawing for a painting, you don't need to put any of these ropes or anything like that in it. You don't need to put any fiddly bits in. You can do all of that with your paint when you're painting it. You need to get the outlines right, and you need to get your shapes right. And then you can transfer these to your painting and you can carry on. And we'll paint them in the next video. Thank you very much.